Cassandra here. I wanted to go over my choices from Simply Stated for the inspiration that I chose to create for you today. And so I'm going to start with that. I will let you know that some things may not match up as I am doing a voiceover, as there was too much background interference in my original video. I want to start off by saying that I chose my background paper, which was Celestial Dream paper number 9. I've already cut it up into the squares here that I'm going to work with. And so I wanted to choose my favorite piece of ephemera from that line to start off with, and it happened to be this moon from the Celestial Dream blue ephemera pack. And then my sentiment was Shine Like the Stars was from the Celestial Dream Essentials ephemera pack, and I thought that went really well. However, I like to mix things up, and I knew that I did not want to use just that collection, and I thought that that background cloudy paper would make a great baby card. And so I went looking for baby ephemera and found this blue wreath that I thought would go well in the Baby Bliss in blue frame ephemera. I thought it was super cute and chose that one. I got my sentiment from the Baby Sentiments ephemera pack. Congrats on the new baby. Fit well in behind my wreath, and I knew that I kind of wanted to have that framed there. And then that left my last 2 cards here. I knew that I wanted a masculine card, and for me the bottom left paper fit that better with its bold stripes of gold throughout the paper. I thought that had a very masculine vibe to it. I knew that I wanted to add butterflies to my cards as well, and so I chose the butterfly from the Steampunk Butterflies ephemera pack. Just to me, steampunk does have more of a masculine vibe, and I thought that I could manage to get away with a butterfly if it had that steampunk vibe. I did go back and forth between the 2 papers, but did decide that those gold brushstrokes were more masculine in the end. My sentiment was a thank you sentiment from the Thank You Sentiment ephemera pack. I just find that I usually need a lot of thank you cards for some of the men in my life that help me out when needed. The last card there, it kind of had a very mixed media feel to it, but it was also very neutral in the colors. There wasn't very bright or bold colors, and so I decided that I wanted a very bright and bold butterfly for that one. And so I got my butterfly from the Rainbow Butterflies ephemera pack, and I got my sentiment from the By the Light of the Moon Essentials ephemera pack. I just think that telling someone they're an amazing human is a card that you can use at any time. And so I want to thank you again for joining me for National Card Making Day. And I hope you enjoy the rest of my video where I put my cards together. I also wanted to go over some of the other materials that I used that were not from Simply Stated. So I did decide to use vellum, as I like to layer with either usually neutrals or metallics, and vellum seemed like it would be a really good choice for all of my layers here, along with my black and white cardstock. I love layering dies, and so I decided to bring in my Prism Studio pierced circles, as well as my postage edge dies from Spellbinders in both the ovals and the rectangles. These These are some of the supplies that I use to embellish my cards with. These supplies I usually have right at my desk because I do use them for a lot of things. I did want to try out the new Snowflakes from Distress, which is the glitter and mica together, and I think that turned out fantastic on my Shine Like the Stars card, and you'll see me use that in the video later. I did decide that I didn't want to go with a black ink, just found it was going to be too harsh for these cards, and so I went with pumice stone and chipped sapphire as they fit the other colors in my cardstock and my embellishments that I had chosen. And so you'll see that I do use those as they go very well with the colors, and that pumice stone matches that background cloudy looking paper really, really well. I did stick with mostly black, white, and gold, so I do like to use a lot of splatter in my cards, and so I used the red gold Yasutomo paint. I found the red gold fit the tones better than the just gold, as well as Spellbinder Splatter White and the new Splatter Effects in Raven, which gave a great black splatter. I do like to use stickles as I find that they are a great embellishment. I used Platinum and Twinkle in this one, and Twinkle, I picked that one out of my other white glittery ones because Twinkle Like the Stars just suited the theme of my cards. Glaze and glue is another one of my go-tos. If you have glossy accents, that will work just the same. I love the sheer shimmer sprays. For this project, I used Frost, which is my go-to, as well as gold. Remember to give these a shake before you use them to mix that mica powder in, and then you can either use them as a spray or you can use them, spritz some onto your mat and use a paintbrush with it to pick up some of that glitter. I also use the Identi pen in order to add some markings onto the Things for Everything card, and this pen worked great. It did have a little bit of an issue going over the watercolor paint, and I just went over it a couple of times to help with that. I used Spellbinder's Circle Illusion embossing folder to emboss all of my black and white cardstock. I have sped the process of making these cards up so that you don't have to sit and watch as I slowly ink things through. I will go through and add some comments as I am getting these cards ready. The first comment is that I do try to do all of my inking at one time, as well as using my glaze and glue or my Nouveau drops or stickles or anything like that, just because that allows the drying time to all happen at one time. I like Tim's tiny blending tools as I find they're really great for going around some of the edges. Shortly here though, you will see me use the teeny tiny dauber tool that we carry to get into some of those tight areas. They're very handy to have around for that purpose. I also like to use them for removing some excess glue that may seep out. quick layer just to see how I want everything to go. And these are the pieces that I do want for that card. I did decide that I did need a little bit of a white cardstock in there to kind of break it up as well. I did decide to trim this by hand rather than use a layering die, just because I did just want a little bit to show through, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut off too much, and you can see I did need to cut just a little bit more. I am working on a few of my embellishments at the same time here. I do like to add the glaze and glue to my sentiments to give them a nice shine, and I started off with the sheer shimmer spray to add some of the details to my ephemera. If I am going to use both the sheer shimmer spray and the glaze and glue, I do like to add my shimmer before I add my gloss. Here I'm taking some of the gold sheer shimmer spray and I'm just going over some of the highlights that were already on the flowers and just adding a little bit of extra detail to them. I also decided to add a little bit to the stars on the background paper just to give them a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of interest when you're looking at them. I decided to use the red gold Yasutomo watercolor on this embellishment. I did want to make that gold sparkle and shine the way gold should, and just add a little bit of a touch to what's already there. I don't really like to add to any of the Simply Stated papers, as I find they're so beautiful on their own. I just like to add a little bit of embellishment to add that shimmer and shine where it should be. I'm just giving everything a quick heat set just to make sure that all of my sheer shimmer spray and watercolor is dry before I move on to the next step. I didn't quite have that sparkle all the way to the edge, so I'm just going in to fix up those edges. The stars in the background to give them that shine. The platinum stickles I'm adding to the antennae here just to add a little bit of sparkle and make the tips of the antennae just a little bit more noticeable on the finished card. I'm carrying those platinum stickles through to the background of this card and just adding a dot where the patterns match up. Twinkle to the same places in this background. Now it's time to get out the glazing glue and finish off my embellishments. I am moving all of these pieces over onto a piece of printer paper. That way, when I am done, I can just pick up the whole sheet of printer paper and move all of these out of the way to dry. I'm using my Spellbinders Glaze and Glue, this case as a glue in order to hold the snowflakes down on top. Sometimes I do like to take the ink pad directly to the edges. I find that this gives a darker, crisper edging instead of a softer edging that goes further into the card. Sometimes I find that that is just enough without being overpowering. I love dimension, and so you're going to see me use quite a bit of the foam tape here. I do get the big foam roll just because I find if I do get the little foam squares, I run out of them really quickly. I do find that in order to have a little bit of wiggle room, I do like to apply some liquid adhesive to my foam tape so that I get a little bit more time to line things up correctly. Like to use a fan brush, I take my spritzer and I just spritz a little bit of water into the jar and mix it up. I will move it out of the way and keep that jar open until the water has evaporated. These gold pearls from Craft Consortium were the perfect touch with that gold bling. I am using the fine tip on the Identi pen just to do a scribbly line around the outside. I do a couple of layers of just a straight line, and then I will go in and add random squiggles throughout. Having the glazing glue already on my butterfly means that with a little bit of a damp tool or cloth, I can wipe off any of that splatter and remove it from the butterfly. I wanted to add a little bit of definition to that straight line across my circle die cut, and so I went in with my platinum stickles. Now I did get inspired by Laureen's picks for this, and so I decided to make another card with the You Are an Amazing Human and add one of those plant domes to it. I did about 3 layers of the glazing glue in order to get the dimension that I wanted, and then stuck the overlapping wing on while it was still wet. Thank you for joining me today for National Card Making Day, and I hope you enjoy my inspirational pieces.